Ready, set, showtime.
Bring down for the Wildcats.
Tigers win. Tigers win. And what a much needed they got. Welcome to the Purple and Gold Talk. I'm your host, Tiger Joker. Let's get into it. So the Tigers come into Saturday's game 2 with Kentucky with a record of 2-5 in the SEC, losing back-to-back weekend series to start the SEC schedule. We're at the halfway point of the season, and to say that this is a much needed win, almost gotta have it win, isn't wrong. After you drop game 1 of the series, to lose a second straight series at home wouldn't be good. So in order to not do that, you pretty much had to have game 2. And the Tigers took care of business, win 7-0 on a very strong, complete game win. And we're going to get into the factors of the win, the highlights of the win, the turning moments, and what the Tigers need to do in game 3 to be able to win that series. So the Tigers scored 7 runs on 9 hits and 9 walks. Very patient at the plate, timely hitting. Also, we had some base running mishaps that maybe prevented a little bit more offensive production. But all in all, it was a pretty good day. You were led at the plate by 2 freshmen. Mason Braun, 2 for 4, with 4 RBIs and a homer. Omar Cerna, 2 for 4 with a walk. You got an RBI by Zach York, going 1 for 2 on the day. And leader of the team, Monster Milam, 1 for 4 at the plate, but 2 RBIs that really busted the game open. So we started out first inning. Neither team scored, little to no production. Second inning, same thing until the bottom of the second is where the Tigers would get started. Curiel would lead off with a single, still second base, but then get thrown out at third with no outs. After the game, Jay said that it wasn't a called steal, but he has full faith in Curiel to make them decisions. Just didn't work out at that time. And the way the season's going, every fan I could see was just like, here we go again. But the Tigers respond. Seth Dardar draws a walk. John Pearson follows that up with a double to put runners at second and third with 1 out. Zach York lifts out a long fly ball to left field to score the first run of the game. But the Tigers wasn't done. Mason Braun would follow that up with a 2-out RBI double to right field to make it 2-0. And the Tigers were get going. No action in the third. We go to the fourth inning. Kentucky makes a little bit of a, runners on. But William Schmidt would get a ground ball to second base, behind second base, where Stephen Milam would make an amazing play behind the bag, flip to Seth Dardar, who would turn to make the double play to first. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but Stephen Milam makes at least one play a game that just makes you say, wow. Multiple sometimes, but at least one a game that just amazes you. My opinion, best defensive shortstop in the country, without a doubt. Possibly the best defensive shortstop in LSU history. Now, Alex Bregman would have something to say about that, but Stephen Milam is up there with him. So you go to the bottom of the fourth, and this is where the Tigers would put some more runs on the board. Again, all started with a Seth Dardar walk. Josh Pearson would fly out. Zach York would walk. Patience at the plate, getting runners on. That's what the team needed to do. Mason Braun come through again, the freshman. Big moments in this game. He would hit a 3-run homer to right center field on a day when the wind was blowing in very, very strong. Mason Braun got a hold of it and got it out. So at this time, it's 5-0 Tigers going into the fifth. Kentucky would get runners on second and third with one out. Short fly ball to right field. Again, wind blowing in. Jake Brown hustling in to make the throw. Make the catch. Make the catch not far behind the infield. Kentucky decides to send the runner. And what does Jake Brown do? Uses the very strong arm that he has, throws a strike to the plate, and gets the runner out. Now, this would draw a little reaction from the Kentucky head coach. Maybe some obstruction on the play or something like that. Got with the umpires, and all in the meantime, from my position, I could see William Schmidt kind of picked up the Kentucky bat and tossed it towards the dugout. Nothing big. Kentucky first base coach coming around kind of jawed back at the dugout, saying something about it, which would fire up Nate Yeskie to come out the dugout, jawing at the Kentucky dugout. And when I tell you that the crowd erupted in this moment, it's could possibly be the loudest I've heard this crowd all season. Fired this team up. The team's fired up. And it's just things you haven't seen from this team in weeks. So it was very, very good to see. So then we go to the top of the sixth. Tigers leading 5-0. William Schmidt would walk the first batter and give up a single. Runners on first and third with one out, and that would be the end of the day for Schmidt. And you can tell when Jay came out the dugout to take him out, he wasn't happy. He did not want to leave the game. And me personally, I love that. I love the competitiveness. I love the want to finish what you started mindset that William Schmidt has. That will carry him a long way in the future. But Zach Cowan would come in, and Zach Cowan, a lot of us would think that Zach Cowan would possibly be the Game 3 starter. But you have to win this game. So what do you do when you need someone to come in to finish a game? You go to one of your best arms out of the pen. And recently, Zach Cowan's been that guy. Zach Cowan would come in with runners at first and third. A steal would put runners at second and third. And Zach Cowan would come in and get back-to-back strikeouts to end the fifth. Like I said, Zach Cowan recently has been one of the best arms out of the bullpen. Very reliable. So he's much needed in that spot. We go to the sixth. Pearson would walk. York would single. Wild pitch moves the runners up to second and third with nobody out. Mason Braun would ground out, holding the runner at third. Chris Stanfield pops up to the infield. So we have 2 outs. Neither runner can score. What's plagued the Tigers so much in the recent weeks was runners left on base, but not today. One of your captains, one of your leaders, Stephen Milam, delivers a 2-out, 2 RBI double down the right field line. Put you up 7-0 and basically put the game away. Zach Cowan would finish it out, saving the rest of the bullpen for Sunday. Lots of arms available out of that pen. Only 3 that I could see that could not throw on Sunday would be Casey Evans, William Schmidt, and Zach Cowan. Maybe Maverick Rizzi, but in a needed situation, I could see him throwing. So again, the Tigers get the win 7-0 to improve their record to 3-5 in the SEC. We're not out of it. It's we're only 3 series in. We still have 7 more to go. Can the Tigers get hot and make a run? Absolutely. The talent is there. Can they put back-to-back good performances together? They can. They've shown it. In the beginning of the year, they've shown it. Recently, no, but it's there. So William Schmidt gets his first SEC win of his career, going 5 1/3 with 3 strikeouts, 3 free passes on 88 pitches. Zach Cowan would get the save, going 3 2/3, 7 Ks, 1 free pass on 54 pitches. And after the game, Jay Johnson would say that this possibly could be Zach Cowan's best performance as an LSU Tiger. And personally, I wouldn't argue that. I mean, he had a game against Arkansas last year in the College World Series that was pretty good, but this one is right up there with it, in my opinion. So you go into game 3 looking for a series win that is very, very attainable. No, you don't have a starter that has been starting all year, but you have quality arms in the bullpen. Some names that come to mind, my personal opinion, I would think that Gavin Guidry would possibly get the start. He stretched out last Sunday, showing that he can go multiple innings, throwing, 50 to 60 pitches, which could get you to 3 or 4 innings on Sunday if needed. Others that could possibly get the start, but if they don't get the start, you are almost guaranteed to see him out of the bullpen. Santiago Garcia is one of them. Cooper Williams is another. Both of them give you a lefty starter. Kentucky's lineup is very left-handed heavy. So if Jay would go with Garcia or Williams, I could see it. But my money would be on Gavin Guidry. You also have Devin Sharon out of the pen to possibly close the game out. You have someone like Jaden Newt that's down there in the pen that hasn't seen much action, but starting experience, and has been in big game moments for LSU last year, this year. So that's another arm that you could possibly see out of the pen. Like I said, you have plenty of arms to get you the win. Can you put together back-to-back good game performances to get that win when needed? Kentucky's going to throw lefty Ben Cleaver. He's 1-1 on the year with a 2.45 ERA. He has 24 strikeouts in 18 innings. He's going to be close to the plate. He does have 12 base on balls and giving up 16 hits in them 18 innings. But, I mean, a steady offensive performance like you had today is what it takes to win games. And the Tigers absolutely can do it. They've shown time and time again that they can. We've had our struggles, but we've also had great performances. It's almost like what Tiger team shows up. If the Tigers show up that we know can play, we get the series win. If it's Tigers show up that we've seen a lot over the past few weekends, who knows what happens. So some lineup notes. Kate Beatty hasn't seen the field in 3 games. Facing a lefty tomorrow, could we possibly see him catching or in the DH role? Or does Jay stick with Mason Braun from the left side against the lefty? We will see. I like Seth Dardar back at third. I mean, at second. I'm sorry, at second base. Seth Dardar at second base. Him and Monster just work well together in the middle of the infield. My opinion. That's your shortstop and your second base. Best combination. Seth Dardar is hitting the ball well. He didn't have a hit today. He had 2 walks. So he's seeing the ball well. I would still see Pearson at third. He's pretty much penciled himself in as an everyday starter right now at third base. And if Beatty does catch, Omar Cerna is going to be in the lineup one way or the other. Either he's going to be catching or he's going to be a DH. You can pretty much pencil him. I'm sorry. You can pretty much write his name in the lineup with a permanent marker. He's not coming out. So let's go out tomorrow. Let's get that win. Let's win the series and start that climb back to being top of the SEC. We can do it. You got to have faith. On a side note, LSU softball today beat Oklahoma, the number 3 team in the country, who came into this weekend series without an SEC loss. LSU beats them 3-1 for the first time in 11 years. LSU beats Oklahoma. And I don't care that the softball team is not having a great season. They're still ranked. The SEC and softball is a juggernaut of a conference. Way worse than baseball. So just to win one game against Oklahoma is a great feat. And I mean, game 1 of this series, LSU had a 1-0 lead in the 7th. So they were 1 out away from winning the series against Oklahoma. So give the Lady Tigers a round of applause for getting that win today. Now, do they come out on Sunday and win the series against the number 3 team in the country, Oklahoma? We shall see. But we will see. So that's going to be it from me. If you don't mind, press that like button. It don't hurt nobody. It only helps me. You can find me on X at TigerJoker84. Give me a follow. Share this if you don't mind. Trying to, just do something that I love to do. I've followed a lot of people that have done podcasts, and they give me the inspiration just to get out there and do it. I'm not great in front of the camera, but I have a passion for LSU sports, especially baseball. And I can sit here and talk about it. Just gives me so much more to pay attention to the games to be able to do this. So, like I said, if you don't mind, give me a like, give me a share, and we'll be back with more content. So that's going to be it. As always, go Tigers.